Hello, guys, and welcome to the SATPC Division 1 is back on Thursday with a single match today. It's SG-Esports versus Infamous. To represent these wonderful teams, one from Brazil, one from Peru, we have the great Brazilian, Bowie, and on behalf of SG-Esports, and we have the great Peruvian, Winter, on behalf of Infamous. How are you feeling, guys? Bowie, how do you feel your boys are going to do today?
I mean, I don't know. Like when we look at the standings, right? SG they actually lost to Thunder and Infamous beat Thunder. So why are we even here? It's obvious that SG is gonna lose. I mean, I'm joking, but
Do you think that's how Dota works? Transitive property of Dota, huh?
not in SA, unfortunately. But I feel like it's definitely like Infamous are looking really strong. Sure, it was the first match that they played versus Thunder, so they might have been a little shaky, but it was a super convincing win. So I'm afraid for SG.
Winter, what about you? What are your thoughts on Infamous here? Do you also agree with Bowie's statement?
Yeah, I think they definitely look better compared to SG. I remember the SG games. Their drops were okay, but when it comes to the macro game, how they are moving around the map and how they are playing, not so connected as a team, as a unit.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that? Wait, I'll ask you Bowie now in a second. But
When they were moving around the map, like they were playing around the areas and the carries they were trying to connecting. I think what's his name? Burner. Yeah, I think the way he's playing the map and the way he's playing the game kind of doesn't feel like he wants to fight a lot sometimes. So I remember the game he was playing. I think Monkey King, and he was because Monkey King usually you kind of you always want to fight early. You buy these early items like Deso, and you try to join the team fights a lot. And he was kind of like forcing a lot of fights because I feel like he thinks that he needs to go join the team because the other core wants to farm. And he sometimes I feel like it's his turn to farm, and the other guy should be fighting, but he's also still fighting. So I feel like he didn't really, or maybe it was the team asking him to fight. I'm not sure, but the balance wasn't there. Because when you
Sure.
look at the teams that have the right kind of balance, they usually will take turns fighting. And someone when he's really strong, he's fighting, and when the other guy it's his turn to farm, he should be farming and coming last. But in the game that I was watching, Burner was always trying to go to the fight, but even when he doesn't have his BKB.
Bowie, were you gonna say something like that?
Yeah, I felt like SG when they looked good, Burner was really like looking good, but even then I felt like he got picked off a lot. The game they won, I think it was a 2-0 win. He was like Omega farmed way farther than everyone else, but he was still like dying by himself. I think he threw like 1 or 2 ages in the games that they look good. So I really feel like he, in a way, he's mimicking Parker playstyle quite a bit. He like farms heavily but tries to fight when he's ready, but I don't think he it's not even his playstyle itself, but maybe SG is not really as Winter was saying, they're not gelled to actually utilize those power spikes as well as possible. I do feel like Burner came a long way. I feel like he's a really good carry, but Infamous is looking really strong. So it's not only like it can't only be him, right? Everyone has to be playing your top game.
So what do you feel about Infamous carry Parker, right? Because in the games that we watched, at least against Thunder Awaken, Parker in the first game went, I don't care if it's a bad TA game, I'm playing TA, and he just carried, like straight up carry with a TA. What do you think of that ability? Is that like a really good sign of a great carry, or do you feel like that will falter against better teams?
That's a really good question. I feel like you really need to have confidence in your style, and obviously, like I don't remember the specifics of that game. Maybe it's like most of the carries that they liked were banned, and they went for comfort rather than like whatever best hero they could have picked, right? Because he really likes the.
It was not. I'll refresh your memory a little bit. What happened was that there was I think it was 1 or 2 carries banned, right? And I don't know if you were on the panel there, but I remember someone saying, oh, he likes TA, but he's not going to pick it because there's a Darkseer and like other 5 heroes with DOTs. No way he picks TA. Actually, I think that was Winter. That's why he's laughing. And they picked TA, and it didn't matter at all. And we all doubted that pick, justifiably so, and he just kind of carried with it. So it is one of those situations where, like you're saying, it's extreme comfort, right? They could have picked a better draft, but they just went, no, we'd rather Parker has a good game. Hence why I ask you, because I'm curious about your mentality and that kind of a way of playing the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's also maybe their understanding is that TA is like one of the best heroes. No, teams do have that sometimes where they feel like a hero is so good, where a counter doesn't necessarily matter, right? I don't think most European teams or even most of the major the teams that play the major would think the same way. But that's why the DPC is so interesting. Like teams will have different understandings of the game.
Sure. And as we get into this draft for this game, which is already starting, I would also like to mention, Bowie, were you here for the interview we did with the Thunder Awakens coach Vintage?
Oh, I kind of glanced at it. I was watching the game, but it was kind of late for me. But I did watch half of it.
Okay. So you heard about the double tempo thing that he talked about and how they got crushed because they were not adapting to the SA tempo. Did you hear that? Okay. So what were your thoughts on that? Do you feel like Infamous might have looked better than they did because Thunder Awakening was playing quote unquote the wrong style and we're maybe, overjudging them or overrating them?
Maybe I think a part of that definitely is true. I think I was listening to We Say Things today, and they were talking about like how like overall in the DPC there were a lot of upsets, right? OG actually got beaten by Tundra. EG, sure, they swapped Jarex. I think a lot of teams that did really well, Gaming Gladiators also did really well, are 0-2 right now. I definitely agree with what he's saying, but I also feel like coming from the major, it's tough for a team to play at that same level. It's very tiring, and at the end of the day, you have to pick your battles, and I feel like Thunder was probably not.
Let's get into the draft because now we'll see if indeed Infamous got a lucky win or if they're going to continue this domination. Beastmaster and Doom, very similar to what they were opening before. The Beastmaster has been the preferred pick and what they beat Thunder twice with. Winter, what is your opinion on this opening? Very, very popular opening these days with the 4 Doom and the 3 Beastmaster.
Zoo meta. I think the offlaner needs to be someone that can buy and abuse the helm and with some creeps. Beastmaster is also very unique because you have the vision control at the same time. I mean, Doom is just Doom because you get the mana burn creep in the lane, which is what everyone's abusing, and you automatically just win the lane and you scale.
Yeah.
I love that the Doom also protects the Beastmaster, right? Because Doom usually is a hero that can just eat the boar. So not only you get that mana region for the Beastmaster to play better, but you also... It is a sort of a counter. They did ban the Enchantress, so most of the heroes that could deal with the boar are taken care of.
Yes, especially because we have to always remember that in SA, very few people play Chen, and Peruvians just don't like Chen for the most part. It's mostly the Brazilian players that like to play him. For SG-Esports, we start with the Konka and the CK. Very different style of opening. What's your opinion on this, Bowie?
I mean, conceptually, I like it a lot because you do have a lot of single target damage, but not a lot of burst, right? So having 2 strength heroes and Bolt together just means that getting pickoffs with these very low, long cooldowns on the side of Infamous might be hard. So I think they kind of play off of each other really well. Their timings are also kind of early. I like it. I don't think it's bad. It is a little greedy if this is good, like if they're sad on playing mid Konka though, because I feel like they're still, Monkey King in the pool. Oh no, actually it was banned, so that's definitely mid Konka then.
Could be like a safe lane Konka. Konka is good against Beastmaster in the lane. I mean,
you're right, actually.
I like the safe lane matchup if it's indeed what they're doing, and the CK is the off lane. Because you have the splash to clear the ball, and then in the game, like you said, when he rolls on someone else, you just drop the boat on top of the target, so you protect your teammate. So even after the laning phase, Konka is just in general very good against the Beastmaster.
Yeah, love it. I think that's really... I like this draft, especially if it's the carry Konka that Winter pointed out. Okay. They also get this Murana. Plays off with the... not only the Crystal Maiden, it actually plays off everyone right now. Everyone actually has a setup for the arrow. Really good.
There's a lot of synergy within their lineup. And on Infamous side, we have the classic Grim plus all the single target spells. The Doom and the Beastmaster. I think we've seen this so many times recently. Even after the nerf on the Ink Spell.
Yeah, and there's the Ink Swell combo as well.
Yeah, everything.
So what synergy are you preferring right now? Because obviously Infamous is a little bit more meta synergy, but SG has the counter meta, you could call it.
You're talking to me or Winter?
I don't really mind who answers my question. I'll believe in you, Bo.
Oh, thank you. I actually prefer Infamous a little bit more. I feel like they, in terms of team fighting, sure, maybe SG has a slight edge, but Beastmaster is kind of a broken hero right now. Like, just having the push alongside the Vision, alongside Radiant advantage, so... they're gonna get that early tier 1 tower. They will shove the top lane. It's really easy to get Roche, really easy to push with Healing Ward, and all of the spells that they have. So I feel like they have this timing that they can bring to SG that is really hard to do anything about. Even if they don't go high ground, they can just choke SG. And I don't feel like SG can do the same sort of moves to equalize the map.
Not if he loses the lane though. I think CM is also one of the better supports at killing the ball and pressuring the Beast in the lane. Because I feel like Beastmaster is very reliant on his laning phase to go well. If he doesn't have a good lane, he kind of doesn't feel like the same hero. Usually Beastmaster, you have a pretty good lane in most cases, but in certain matchups, like I think some teams will do like a PA carry or like a CM support in the past. Like those heroes can kill the ball easily in the lane, and once you take off the ball, the hero doesn't pressure the carry as much in the lane.
What about the Axis build that we've been seeing here,
Yeah,
Winter?
I was gonna say that.
Go ahead, Bowie, then. You chastise him.
No, I really feel like if this is indeed Kunkka carry, he might even skip Boris completely, get 2 or 3 points in the Axis.
Right.
And that's like the Crystal Maiden could suffer a lot, and the mana region of the Doom just allows that build to be super impactful on the Beast.
Yeah, that's kind of true. The mana burn. That's why this combo is like so good together, because the Doom kind of covers the Beast so well in the lane phase. No matter who is he facing in the lane, the mana burn just makes sure that the other hero doesn't matter what you do in the lane, because there's mana burn. That shit is so broken, man. It's so unfair.
And SG has to be like TA Alk for whatever reason, because Parker's a beast as well. And then like they always, I think they played this combo every match, right, against Thunder. Pretty sure
they played Beast. TA Beast in one, and then Alk Beast in the other one.
No, but they first phase Doom every game, right? I think
they first phase Beast Doom in every game. Yeah, unless it's banned. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was the lane, so I guess NS is off lane.
This is mid Night Stalker then? What's happening?
No, mid Kunkka, right? NS off lane.
Mid Kunkka, yeah.
Carry CK.
Okay.
Yeah, you were so excited about the carry Kunkka that you like
No.
you zeroed in on it, Bowie.
Like, I understand why you would go CK here, because if you expect the Axis build, then just trying to kill with Chaos Bolt and Reality Rift might be a better idea. But they don't know the matchup for the Kunkka, so this could still be kind of bad for him.
Is Timber still in the game? There's all strength heroes.
Ooh. Wait,
but then what do you run, like Timber mid?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good Timber game, I don't know.
It is a good Timber game, yeah. I mean, there's a fair amount of stuns, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of the same
That's the other
idea.
anti-strength. Yeah.
I mean, this hero works better with the Ink Spell anyway. Timber has nothing with the Ink Spell. Not the Ink Spell, the Soulvine, sorry.
He's also better as like if there's less damage but a lot of stuns, Timber gets a little screwed, whereas Necrophos doesn't care because he just tanks forever, right? So he's a little bit better in that regard.
Yeah, the laning phase kind of sucks for the Kunkka against Necrophos.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I played that lane before. Oh no.
Yep. It's not.
That's what.
Very happy.
That lane made Winter into a 5, actually. That was the last lane he played as a mid lane. Winter, what are your predictions for this game, considering this?
I feel like I'm going to lean towards Infamous with their laning setup and their overall win condition in the last pick, Necrophos. I feel like it's going to be easier for them to set things up. And on top of that, because like what we mentioned, they're on the Radiant, it's easier to abuse the vision and get the Roshan, so things are gonna go much better for them.
Bowie?
Yeah, I think, I'll just be the boring guy and follow Winter here, because You know, you just look at Parker and he's like 12-0, and you think TA is the problem, but I really feel like this Beastmaster Doom is something that was not addressed, and is the comfort for Infamous in both games. We'll see what happens, but I kind of have a feeling if Infamous wins, they'll try to address that, because that is very powerful right now.
Well, my panel is leading the way of Infamous, so you guys know what that means. SG will take it now. We'll see if they're right. Infamous looking very strong after those.
There's no RDO or Duster in this panel, okay?
It's true. They're the kings of curses. You guys are more even. But yeah, Infamous looking very good here. As Bowie was saying, Parker kind of draws attention, allows the Beastmaster to excel. Will that actually happen in game number 1 between Infamous and SG? Or will SG show us the power of Berna trying to reach up to Parker? We're going to have to see as we go over to our casters, Avo Plus and Lacoste. Thank you, Avo. We're here with game number 1.
My favorite. I'm just if you didn't say anything, Avo, I would just be silent for a minute if we need to do it until you say something, because you got to throw it to yourself.
It's been 3 seasons that we've done this, and you still laugh every time it happens, and it's very appreciated, Lacoste. I'm not gonna lie. Let's get to the game. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen here, and I want to know your opinion as well, Lacoste. Do you side with the panel? Do you think Infamous has a better draft?
Yeah, I like what they got. Like, they don't have many stuns, so that might be a little problem. Like Doom with the Blink Dagger with the Creep solve some of those issues, because I'm always impressed the way Doom initiates in these fights. They have like what they need to do is like they need to use Soulbind and drop like either Beastmaster ulti or Doom on top of these 2 targets and be able to delete them. But in terms of like damage, they don't have that much like damage that goes through. Like if you want to use Reaper Sight, for example, when the hero's like 70% HP. Like, you don't have that spell that just brings them down below the threshold.
Okay, interesting. So, do you think they can itemize for that, or do you feel like it's just like how do you fix that issue? Or is that even something they play around? Do they just wait until someone's low enough and they punish?
The good thing is that like SG doesn't have a save. Like, they don't have any heroes. Let's say they have a hero like Shadow Demon. I would side with SG's draft, because like I think Shadow Demon would completely destroy their lineup against the Juggernaut ulti, save against Aurora, and also to be able to dispel Necrophos. He's not in the game, but just saying, you know, a hero like that could make a big difference. And we see Infamous. They might find Berna here.
We do. Stroke of Fate to slow him down. Parker is already using that Blade Fury, and that's going to slice and dice Berna, as Parker will get that first blood. Do you... Okay, that line means, do you want to win? Win. Yeah, win now. Win. Anyway, as we go into the game, do you feel like the...
Yeah, I'm not sure who allowed that one to be in the game, but...
I
heard some bad voice lines. I heard... I heard myself, but we have a bit way too many voice lines in the game right now. Like voice line meta is a bit different. I want to touch upon the top lane. We're gonna have Beastmaster Doom. Like, I didn't put too much faith in this lane, but I've seen it working out so many times where you just like don't need the lane. Doom will drag the creep wave, and Beastmaster, like, he just works so well with the new build with wild axes. They get a kill. Okay.
Yeah, they might get a second one onto Parker. Stroke of Fate though will slow Frank, so he's not gonna be able to punish Parker.
I don't like when people are using healing cells, but in this situation, like, using it on Parker is really good, because like otherwise he would not be able to come back to a lane. And now he got the first blood, used the courier, brought some items. But I don't think Mirana should die. Like, it's Mirana with an arrow, so you arrow the range creep and you don't get close. I'm not sure how Juggernaut got on top of her. I was watching the top lane.
I'll be honest. I was also watching the top lane. I have no clue what happened there either. I guess, level 1 Mirana, you feel a little bit cocky. You're used to having leap, and then maybe just a little mistake there. It's a strong lane, though, Grimstroke Jug. Can they kill Night Stalker?
They can. Option? Yeah, they got some extra levels once they hit that level 3. Problem is they don't have much mana in this lane. Like, Juggernaut or Grimstroke will need to get more mangoes Because Juggernaut, he consumes a ton of mana. Like, especially if you decide to go for the healing ward, he already used spin 2 times. He TP'd to the bottom lane. This is big. If you can land an arrow, if,
yeah, and Parker avoids it, and here comes the counter initiation by Affliction, but unfortunately, without any Blade Fury, there's no way you're killing a Night Stalker here. And he gave him tangos this time, so look at that, Lacoste. They're learning. It's better for tangos than salve.
It is. One thing you can do with hero like a Juggernaut, instead of buying healing salves, you buy mangoes. Because you get like the full value, and then Juggernaut uses healing ward. It's very expensive. It's like 140 mana. Or you can buy tangos.
Have you seen any Juggernaut taking multiple points in healing ward early? Or it's just a 1 point,
Just
right?
one.
Even after the self? Yeah.
Cooldown's the same. Mana cost goes down, max HP per second, the healing goes up. Looking at the mid lane, Kunkka doing extremely well. Like, he's putting some pressure. I don't think it should go this way. I think Necrophos should be a bit more aggressive and like be on his hill, try to dodge those Tidebringer damage. Gonna use the X Mark TP combo, come back to the lane, full HP, full mana.
Yeah, the panel said this lane was a wash for Necrophos, but Faker's really holding his own here. Is there a moment where Necrophos maybe takes over? Maybe it's just a little bit too early? And then level 5, it's just impossible for Faker to lane?
I think it's this boots of speed. This boots of speed doesn't get him anything in the laning stage. I think you skip it. You don't need wand early on in this lane. I've seen Necrophos getting like just a bracer or double bracer where you can like go for different item builds. Or if you want to get like another Null Talisman, like Null Talisman did get nerfed in that, so you need something, but I don't think Boots of Speed is that item. Like, you're not running anywhere. Sure, Necrophos has very low movement speed, but still, like, it's not what
Top lane
wins you the lane.
Oscar is getting a little bit low. Oscar, the body block from Michael will save him. And one last set of access just for spite there. Okay, I'm interested in the boost the back. Let's go back to the top lane that you were talking about. Doom got the mana burn creep, the panel mentioned.
That creep,
so it should
like, even after the nerfs, the hero, the creep's still broken. It's super good. Burning mana on people and also having extra mana regen just feels way too good. Doom is getting scouted. There is an observer ward on the high ground, so his potential rotation is not gonna do anything. Beastmaster, very low top. Like, he has a lot of stats, but he gets close, he's gonna die. Doom can't protect him. He's bringing something. Yeah, that's a healing salve. And a raindrop, so should be okay.
But you were right, though. The CK-CM lane actually did a number on the Beastmaster. Michael can't really do much. You know, he burns mana and stuff, but he's not really the best support at helping out Oscar.
You need to manipulate the creep wave. You do have kill threat with these two heroes, especially because like you don't want to get more points in Boar. It's all about the axes. Axes are 65 mana. Like I don't know why that ability scales. Like in terms of mana cost, like it's still the same at all levels. It's really good. Alone's probably gonna die on mid lane because he's getting boated right now into arrow combo. There it is.
And just need a little bit more magic damage. Oh, no, apparently the physical damage will do the trick. LTH thinks he can fight Michael head on. There's the Starstorm finally picked up. We still have a leap. LTH bidding out that Inkswell. Faker could be the target instead. A mana burn hurting him. One last Tidebringer hit. Faker actually surviving this. And it's Michael who's going to end up going down. He got baited into going up to the enemy high ground. Punished for this now. An arrow hits Affliction. And they just need 2 more auto attacks. Everything is missing. But finally, LTH gets him.
Oh, big for Kunkka. KXY picks up Region Rune, because like I talked about the item build. If that Boots of Speed was Bracer, he gets the Fairy Fire off, he gets the Magic one, he gets the Dead Pulse, and he lives there, and then it's a completely different fight. Like, you could potentially get a turnaround kill with the Reaper Sight. So big difference. And the KXY, I love the rotation from Marana. He calls it. He says, you know, I'm level 6. This is an easy kill. We can easily set it up. And now clearing the stacks, being level 7, picking up that Region Rune top lane. Oscar's gonna drop. Very aggressive moves from SG. I like it. I like the way they move around the map. And now Night Stalker. Like, they need a hero to play with the Night Stalker. And we see KXY deeping bottom. Parker is level 6, having mana phase boots delivered to him. So, but he needs to be careful. Like, Night Stalker is saving a point. That 1 point in critical fear might allow him to use the combo. Okay, first usage of the Reaper sight. They get it. They get the extra.
It was quite low.
It's good. Like, it's not spectacular anymore, but they should be able to pressure the tower. Alone is pinging out, like, I'm going for the creep wave. Don't do anything. Don't touch my creeps.
Indeed, and as they push this tower with a catapult, it seems like SG wants to respond to this. It's only the supports coming up top, though.
Oh, courier.
Okay, they help.
Come on.
Yeah, free courier.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a support as well. They should know the couriers have lives. Faker from behind. Michael, okay. He catches him, gets a torrent into Ghost Ship. Now with the arrow, LTH will finish off the Doom, and SG is capable of getting a little counter kill and defending their tower. Meanwhile, Night Stalker pushes the bottom tower as well, but he's alone. Even with a catapult, it's not going to do too much damage.
They need to do something about bottom. Like, bottom tower is going to drop. If they keep them busy, KXY will pick up Arcane Rune.
Oh, it's true. Faker's going for the CM as well. In the Roche Pit she goes, but she's just wasting time, as you said, for bottom.
This bottom
and bottom's
is
actually
like,
dropping
this
faster
bottom,
than top.
if they don't rotate 2 heroes, this tower just dies. And Night Stalker having Dark Ascension, having extra damage, like, he could potentially get a kill. So far, so good for SG. I would, like, I think in this kind of a game, you go for Echo Saber, you are off to a really good start on Night Stalker, and you can take over the game. I think you need to be a bit more greedy. BKB is fine, but you're playing against the Beastmaster, Omnislash, and Doom, so value from the BKB is not going to be that great to be your first item. I think the same thing for Kanka. I wanted to suggest, like, Spirit Vessel on Kanka. You do have Marana, so it's still going to be a good timing on it, but if you wanted, like, an item before that, because BKB, like, the item got nerfed heavily, like, 15 seconds is big. It's gigantic.
It is indeed. As we see rotation up top, by the way, from SG. They're looking for the kill here on either Affliction or Oscar, but they both go into the trade
Oscar has boots of speed in his backpack.
They caught Affliction as well, by the way. Affliction will die. Oscar will at least be able to TP, and you're right about the boots of speed. What? Why? Oh, Beastmaster going for boots of speed, something I haven't seen in a while. Not the straight Vlads we usually see.
Maybe he felt... I mean, we're out of the laning stage. Usually they don't get it. I don't know. I would say if he had it earlier, then he wanted to outrun. Because he bought all these small items. Like, he bought the Raindrop, he bought the Bracer, a full magic wand. Like, he has 3 extra branches that he needs to sell because he's not getting anything from it. It was just sorely for the laning stage. Michael.
Oh, good leap by LTH, but not quite the high ground he was looking for. LTH has been seen, but they're actually going for a kill on Alone. Arrow set up, but Alone, the arrow is actually blocked by Juggernaut. Good Blade Fury to block that arrow. LTH will be forced to go up to his high ground as
Jug has no mana.
Hit. He's out of mana. He did drop the healing ward though, and they did manage to just barely destroy it there. Another attempt. Blade Fury just got up. Cooldown, but Parker doesn't want to use it, and they're going to try to push mid. It seems like SG too afraid to initiate. They need more people here.
Block it. Nice.
Oh.
It's all about those arrows. Parker thinking about going in. Yeah, they need to back off. Frank is getting so much. Like, Frank is almost on the top of the net worth. He has not been involved. Like, 1 kill, that's it. But I think if the rest of the team is playing like this, that's more than fine. And you have Berna farming the triangle right now. This is one of the issues with their lineup. It's cooldown dependent, both Sight, Primal Roar, and Doom. So every single time it's down, like even Omnislash, I think SG could potentially play around it. They need to find something. Like, they need to find opening. A problem is they don't have that stun initiation.
Frank is forced to use the Dark Ascension here. He also has the Silence and Crippling Fear, but doesn't seem like he wants to commit it. He is alone, nobody playing with him. I want to ask you though, you talked about the Kunkka, BKB and how it might not be the most impactful item. What do you think of Frank going for that same item? You think it might be more impactful than Night Stalker?
Yeah, I said I think Frank needs to go greedy. Just get the Echo Saber. It will help him get to BKB faster, right. Can disassemble. Also, like, I don't think Beastmaster will get Helm of the Overlord this game, because Night Stalkers, they do buy shards, and you can just insta-kill it during the nighttime.
Yes, it's actually cute for him as well. And Oscar has decided to go just straight Vlads. Can you... So he's gonna go for Wraith Pack build on the Beastmaster? Seems
Probably,
much less
yeah.
Impactful.
You can get, like... Because he's not even getting, like, even a helm. Usually I see Beastmasters getting a helm, and then getting Vlad's, and then getting the Wraith Pack. But seems like he's gonna completely skip it.
And we'll see how that pans out for us. Cause I've seen some Beastmasters go for like the Drums Vlad's build. Or a Beastmaster, back to the old days. Michael gets caught. Torrent into Ghost Ship, there's Widge, Frostbite, LTH has no arrow. So this time they can't complete their combo. And the Ghost will prevent any further initiation, but LTH will lead instead. Affliction. Once again, get down, Mr. President, says Affliction, as he tanks the arrow himself.
I'm not sure if he wanted to dodge it or tank it there. That was kind of hard read.
I think he was tanking it for the Beastmaster. I want to believe that was him being a good support. Widge. That Frostbite puts him in a pickle as Primal Roar catches him. Hawk sees him perfectly. Torrent will not help enough as they commit the full Reaper Scythe. Now the X marks the spot, has nothing to combo with, so they just bring Oscar back. And it does seem like that tower in the mid lane will fall in favor of Infamous. Not much commitment from them. Frank keeps on farming the bottom lane, just waiting for that BKB.
Michael, thinking about going in.
Oh. And then with the Doom, they do this. Soulbind right afterwards. Mirana now can't lead. May they go for the easier target.
They will run away,
but
they got nothing.
They will. Affliction now, though. Got stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's a found by CK. Affliction will die here as Frank has to stop this TP. The X-Mark spot will help them. Into the arrow they go. Oscar falling as Frank scouts this retreat from Infamous.
This could potentially even be a tower, because they just used Primal Roar. They used every single ability besides Omnislash. So I don't see Infamous defending this tier 1 tower on mid.
You think it was worth to use all those in a CM?
Definitely not. I mean, problem is they don't have a stun. Like, Doom is also not going for the Blink Dagger, or maybe he is, but he has drums queued up. I think they need a Blink initiation from him. Like, they need to be able to, like, get the double Doom off. And the double Roar Beastmaster, like, I think he's also gonna need to have a Blink Dagger in this game.
Yep. Oscar is considering Blink Dagger after that Wraith Pack, so I like that. I agree with your Blink on the Doom. Yeah. You need someone as well that, like, kind of tanks and initiates to give vision, right? And Beastmaster's not the best hero for that. He just hawks. Smoke now by Infamous. Their initiation still lacking. Or you can initiate with an Ink Swell potentially, just walking in as Parker is planning on doing.
Oh, they know. The scan connects. Let's see, Berna, if he can dodge it.
No Phantasm, which means he can't dodge his Ink Swell stun. He's gonna get hit by it. Armlet has been activated. Here are the reinforcements. They want to bait out Berna, but he's gonna go down with a Reaper Scythe. Freezing Field though, plus Frank keeps them in place. The Ghost Ship plus Thorn hits the Necrophos. And they're looking to kill the Doom first. Parker also falls in the middle of his double roar. Not bad. Can they kill Faker? He just walks away. Frank's still scary. There's the Ghost Shard used. With a Yol Scepter to avoid the Torrent alone. Will be able to live through this. Avoids the arrow too. Alone will not die just yet. Everyone in SG is really low.
The snipes. They're trying to snipe him, but I think they should be more than fine with the casualties after this big team fight, because CK dies. Like, they couldn't save him. Maybe if there's like a boat potentially, but not really.
Yeah.
Because they're like we talked about when the game started about them not having saves, so they drop down everything, and now during the nighttime they also have like Dark Ascension for even more vision and also like more damage on the Night Stalker. They should try to do something. Right now, Kunkka, Mirana, half HP. They should regen up and try to go for a smoke. Lanes are in decent position. Top needs to be pushed out a little bit, but yeah, they should go. Because Parker, like, he can't deal with the Night Stalker. And here we go.
Yep. That's exactly what you were calling out. They can't get the angle for the arrow, so Parker's capable of spinning, but Frank will just mash him into the ground. Fair amount of kills on Parker. That's like the third time they kill him in an engagement, so he's falling a little bit behind, especially compared to Frank.
Because, like, even if you try to TP, Damage from the Night Stalker is going to be a bit too much, and they want more.
Oh, Michael, apparently. He's been slowed already. Infernal Blade, a bit of a nuisance. They need Mirana arrow to hit. Michael, oh! What an arrow! Well done, LTH. That's going to net them the kill.
They need to put pressure. They're still cooldown on their abilities. Let's see if he fakes it. Yule Scepter alone, not going to flinch.
Well done. What are the plays, though, by Infamous right now? Because they're just being run at all over the map. What can they do to stop this pressure?
And they need to like get... They have Wraith Pack, so that's going to be pretty big. Mirana could potentially kill it. It's 4 hits only with the leap attack speed. She might be able to do it if she sees it in the fight. It's also bigger, so it's much easier to spot it. I think they need to like try to get a pick off, maybe 2, transition that into Roche. Oh, both is used.
Fortunately, yeah, the team to get the pickoff is going to be fake. It's going to be SG, who commits the BKB just to kill the support Grimstroke.
Okay.
That was the 9 seconds, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Maybe he agrees with you. He's like, BKB is not that important. It's worth a support kill, apparently.
They should smoke. They should smoke on side of Infamous and try to go for like either pick off, because they know that Kunkka doesn't have both, doesn't have a BKB, so they could like their Roshan damage is okay-ish. It's nothing spectacular, but I think they need to like get a pick off before trying to get to Roche.
This'll come in handy.
Yeah, they're going near the Roche pit though, so they don't seem keen on that pick off. All right. Scouting the high ground first, but it seems like the kind of scout you do right before you go into the pit, yeah. We'll see if this works out. Dark Ascension's up in 10. They don't have the fastest rush they can line up either. No minus armor in this team.
There's sustain.
SG gonna let them
There's
do
a
it?
lot of sustain, so they're gonna be full HP. Frank is looking for an angle.
True. He is. Dark Ascension to give vision. Once again, the goal is to go for Parker. That bash hits up for this kill. Parker is about to die. Primal Roar might just save him for a couple more seconds. Blade Fury now to get away. The Inks will annoy them. The Doom on the Night Stalker prevents him from voiding Parker one last time. Ghost Ship will hit Affliction yet again. And it also hits the Beastmaster. Reaper Scythe though from behind, trying to finish off LTH. Not gonna work. Oscar instead will be the victim. They chase after alone. Michael also caught by Berna. 2 fights going on at the same time. Michael cannot leave this area though. He's gonna die first as Faker finishes off alone. One last X marks the spot to bring him into a Tidebringer Cleave death. Parker was farming near this area, but he's lucky enough to be alive here. Wind Lace plus Phase Boots will keep him alive. He can still Blade Fury TP, and the damage from Frank is not high enough just yet.
They got the healing ward as well. Kunkka has double damage.
Ooh, Omni? Omni on the CM alone. And Faker trying to tank it. They do it. He really wants Witch. Now TPing in the middle of this. Damage is not high enough. Parker went for the high risk, high reward play, and it worked
Meanwhile,
out.
Berna, he's going for Roshan. This is huge for SG, because like Doom was used on Night Stalker, who already had Dark Ascension on him, and they almost bursted the Juggernaut, but that Primal Roar saving him for a little bit, and then Necro needs to have higher priority targets with his Reaper side. He used it on Mirana. Mirana didn't even die. So like you want to be like, this is something that I talked about, because there isn't enough burst damage. Their lineup is really good at like resetting, but they lack stunts, because if they like commit with the Roar, with the Doom, like you want to be able to get at least 1 or 2 kills.
Yeah, sure. We kind of, I mean, that initiation was pretty okay, all things considered, for Infamous, but you were right about the fact that you just can't go into Roche Pit without pickoffs there. Because they got the double, they got the Roar, and they actually saved the Juggernaut's life, which was impressive. But those commitments, how can they fix this now? Infamous 12k behind. What are their options besides getting pickoffs? Can they try to cut waves? Is there any way they can split push perhaps with this lineup they have?
Oh, it's very difficult. Like, a Juggernaut might need to play this risky game. It's very difficult to itemize as well on Jug when you're playing against the Night Stalker, because you get the Crippling Fear. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, but once he does, it makes your game very, very difficult to play.
What are the items that Jug can get to prevent that? Like BKB, Blink?
Oh, like Manta Style is not an option. You also kind of don't want to buy BKB at this point. He's going all in on damage, which I think is fine. Like one item that kind of deals with that is SNY, to be a bit more tanky and have status resistance.
Heard Frank use Dark Ascension, by the way. He's on the hunt for Michael, who does have a Doom. There's the Void use, so Michael can just TP. Well done.
And they smoke. They want to find something else. Like immediately running to bottom lane. Oh, 4 seconds
Parker
stun.
actually got stunned. Yeah. He has the healing ward set up properly, though. In fact, they might have just bait out Berna. That's going to be his first life going down.
Not yet.
First life. There we go. They had one more hit from the Necrophos. He was saving the Reaper Scythe for his second life. Well, they accomplish it. Both, though, gives them a lot. That's Freezing Field zones at the enemy team. And they're capable of retreating here. SG. Good control of the high ground. They might lose the CM. No, Infamous is too afraid to go up high.
What a play from LTH. He arrows Doom right before, like he already raised his hands in the air, ready to drop that Doom on 2 targets and gets arrowed.
Well done, LTH. I even missed that. Infamous goes for their own smoke, though. They know the enemy team wasted a lot of ultimates. Their goal is to go for Frank. The Doom has been used, but so has the BKB, which means Frank can still somewhat fight back. Unfortunately, it is daytime, so not much chasing he can do against Michael. Widge overcommits, perhaps. Blade Fury on him, as he's also turned into Ethereal. He is going to go down to that magical damage from Parker.
Aegis went down, so that's good. Like, they didn't heavily commit. Their Roar's gonna be back online in 10 seconds. Big items inside of SG, like we didn't talk about Berna, but he picked up the Heart, very tanky, on top of Armlet, going into Shadowblade, Silver Edge next. So you gotta be careful. It's very difficult to split push, because there's gonna be like Blink Initiation from the Night Stalker coming out soon, and also stun from Shadowblade, like even Mirana ulti. So I don't think Juggernaut will ever feel too comfortable going for an extra wave or trying to like play on the sidelines. He might need to, like the rest of the team needs to be ready to either back him up or do something on the other side, but it's not gonna be easy. Also Kunkka, like his item build, he's BKB into Hex. I like that.
Oh, nice. Is this the impactful item you were looking for the Kunkka? Because you were questioning, like, what does he build this game that's good enough?
Yeah, sometimes, okay. I might popped it too early. I think if they waited for Mirana ulti to kick in, then they can initiate with the Night Stalker Silence or just Shadowblade stun from CK. This Night Stalker ulti kind of revealed them. Yeah, that's definitely a big item. Like your second item, he was thinking about getting AC, which is fine against like Jug, but I think Hex has more value. Like their physical damage is mostly from Juggernaut, but he also has a ton of magical damage with the spin and full Mjolnir done. So I feel like having this Hex to be able to initiate and then probably gonna get Aghanim Scepter just to have that Torrent Storm try to disrupt the fights.
Do you think it also he like swapped the roles a little bit with the Night Stalker? Like Night Stalker be a bigger damage dealer?
Yeah, the Night Stalker definitely scales. Kunkka does scale, don't get me wrong, but in terms of like raw right-click damage, Night Stalker scales better. Because like no one builds Kunkka with like Divine Rapiers and like double Daedalus. Or sometimes it's okay, but not this game.
Yeah, certainly. As they go for the Beastmaster this time, he's like, oh, just TP. Oh no. X marks the spot. Ghost ship, everything committed for Orskar. They're actually gonna get rid of his little ward as well. Sorry, the totem from Wraith Pact. 100 gold now. It's like a Helm of the Dom creep.
It's a lot of gold. Like, definitely needed to be nerfed. Oh.
Yes.
Widge.
Ooh, what a 4-staff up to the high ground. And even with the dust, they can't find him anymore. In fact, Frank wants more. He doesn't have Dark Ascension, but he does have a Grimstroke in his grasps, and he's not gonna let him go. He goes, run away screaming.
Oh man, looking at Necro. Just
what? Frank? Frank? Is he crazy? He just blinked? That's one of those plays where they don't go on you because they think his team surely is behind him.
But they were not. There's gonna be another Dark Ascension available in 10 seconds. I mean, it's still nighttime, so SG will definitely try to take a fight. There is Tanka with Sight of Vice, so he can be the one initiating. There's also a Deep Observer Ward placed in the enemy base. Spin used. It's being pinged out.
Frank activates the BKB. He's searching for Oscar. Gets rid of the Wraith back first, but this Dark Ascension wasn't of much use. His team once again not ready to go.
Frank someone needs to control Frank. Like, Frank is getting out of control right now. Like, he's going in alone onto 5 heroes.
Yep. He's getting away with murder as well. Like, Infamous doesn't seem like they're doing anything to him. SG's like, okay, we gotta talk to Frank.
Frank, listen. I know you're off to a good start. 5-1-5. Please don't throw the game. Top is being pinged out because there's still tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Look at Frankie. He's thinking about yeah, he's thinking about, oh, maybe I can kill Grimstroke.
You know the joke about Frank back when his Thunder Awaken is that he doesn't communicate. Like that's the meme. He's a mute. He doesn't speak in games. So maybe he just has his team muted and doesn't know what they're talking to him. They keep telling him to go for objectives, and Frank's like, I'm just gonna fight. I hope my team.
Is that a thing in 2022?
What?
I mean, this guy played at the major. You know, you can't just mute your teammates and expect to win games.
Yeah, Frank's been doing a great job of it. He got top 6 at a major with that. So, you know, I think at that point, your style is validated. That's why he's called the android, man. He doesn't recognize human emotions. Only fear, actually. That's something Frank recognizes.
And he goes back. Next Roche may potentially spawn in 30 seconds. He should also try to farm up like Basher before the next fight, because Night Stalker with Shard farms extremely fast. You also have Crystal Maiden Aura, so you don't care too much about your mana pool. Having Basher to be able to deal with the BKBs, by BKBs I mean Magic Immunity, Spin from Juggernaut. The Beastmaster's trying to build one. Necro. Like nothing too impactful from Necro so far, I would say.
Yeah, I actually forgot we had a Necro in the game, if honest with you. He just seems like one more hero to kill. We've seen like a couple of Reaper Scythe, that's it. Oh. Oscar, though, much more impactful. He's the Wraith Pact holder. The arrow will hit this time. Frank did have a cavalry, but so does Infamous. In fact, they go for Frank this time, want to punish him. BKB in 3 seconds, but he's not going to get it off. Frank is already dead. And the Doom from behind stopped Faker from helping out Frank. As the freezing field is used just so the Revenant can retreat. Oh, Omni Slash though. He's tired of the CM ultimate. He's tired of the Mirana as well. And both supports will be sliced and diced. SG only survives the carry in the mid laner.
Frank being a bit too aggressive, as we said, and also his BKB was on cooldown. If it was an old BKB, he definitely lives there, because Inkswell would not connect, so you gotta be more careful about it. Unfortunately for Infamous, Roshan is gonna take at least, like when the fight ended, it needed 30 seconds to respawn. If it respawned immediately, I think that would be their way to come back into the game. Now that SG, they know there's no Omni Slash, there is no Doom, so they should go in and just try to take a Roche fight. Like, even try to force it. Go in and see what happens. Try to beat him up with CK, because CK does have a heart, and you can always have Armlet on. You don't care too much about Doom, because it's on cooldown. And, alright, Infamous, they are inside the pit. I don't think they can get away with this.
Is this the famous SA Roche Lacoste? We're gonna have to see as Frank. Once again, he's the first man in, but he hopes to be the last one out this time. It's Frank, and continues to annoy the supports. Michael has been caught though by the Kunkka and the Mirana. They missed the arrow, however, but they have managed to hex him thanks to the Scythe of Vice, which means Michael's down.
Roar
so
in
is
a
Parker's
second.
Courier. Parker activates the Blade Fury though. Double Reaper Scythe, that's gonna hurt so much. Verdader's down for the count. Frank joins him in the grave. Infamous knew they could take this, and it's working out for them for now, as Faker lacks the damage to combat this. So the Roche is going to go the way of Infamous. They get away with it, Lacoste, even blocking the arrow, just in case.
They used way too many things. Frank, once again, going in first with no real follow-up. Like, they need the rest of the team. And then you have Hex on Doom, who already was dead, kind of. Like, you want to save that Hex for something bigger. Like, imagine if you used Hex on Necrophos, so there's no double Reaper sight, and Vidge also gonna drop. So now they have Shard on Juggernaut. Now they have Aegis as well on top of that. A
Shard
little bit of
Beastmaster,
throws. Still, the number is pretty high. If you look at the top of the screen, 14,000, but it doesn't feel like that anymore.
No. I mean, this Grimstroke ultimate, man, is making this team fight so easy. You talked about the doubling we talked about the doubling in the beginning of the draft, right? But
I want
it's just so easy.
Yeah, I want to test something out. I don't know. Maybe you know. Does the Shard Hawk work with Aghanims, with Soulbind?
That's a very good question. I actually do not know that either.
I mean,
That's a very good question.
I think it should, because it like procs the Lincolns, so
Yeah.
maybe it should. Like the Hawk splits into two. You have like left wing and right wing. It's just less stun and less damage. Meanwhile, Juggernaut, he died. Parker, they managed to catch him with Marana and I believe it was Kunkka. Yeah, so Hex into Arrow, both combination.
Oh, you were talking earlier, by the way, on the Frank's plays. Now we've made a lot of fuss, but doesn't it feel a little bit incongruent when you go for like a more damaging build and Kunkka seems to be like your tank initiator? That Frank is the one that's jumping in first, that follow-up?
Like Frank is tanky. I just need someone needs to tell him like wait a couple of seconds until the rest of the team connects. Like they don't have blink daggers and the flying movement, so just wait a couple of seconds. LTH bought a gem, so that means they want to get rid of the vision. They also want to see the Hawk, most importantly, so they're not scouted. Their smoke's gonna be much more valuable. I feel like they should take the fight. I don't think they should stop playing Dota because like they lost one last fight, like two maybe, and they lost Roche, but there's no Aegis anymore.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do here.
Seems like they're gonna be waiting for BKB on CK. He's just 100 gold away. Also, Aghanims and Kunkka. Never mind. They're gonna wait for both of these items and then try to smoke up and go.
Now you talk about the Ags on Kunkka as well. Oh, okay, they're gonna smoke right before the Ags on Kunkka comes in.
He wants it. Like he's probably gonna reveal himself.
All right. Berna just got BKB, and so is the Ags on Kunkka completed. But they smoked a little bit before this.
It's fine. They picked up the bounty. Bounty spawned, and there's a BKB coming up.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're being delivered on the couriers. But they wasted a bit of time with the smoke, and I don't think they can find someone with the smoke now. I guess they ward at least, using the gem as well, putting it to good use. Take over the enemy triangle.
For potential second smoke. There's still one more smoke on Marana, and there's also Moonlight Shadow. So they have like another way of approaching fight the way they want it. There's gem on a Beastmaster as well as BKB. They know, like both teams know where everyone is, so it seems like it's gonna be a trade.
Yeah, not much more action here. As Infamous, they're happy to avoid these fights. They're still recovering in terms of net worth, as we saw. They want to take one on their own terms instead. Okay, smoke immediately. This is a very SA smoke. This region really values the idea of smoke for movement speed to get the objectives faster. Not so much a surprise factor.
We'll see. It could potentially catch them off guard, but they have high ground vision.
Michael got a nice stomp though. Berna's once again the objective. And they did catch him with a Doom as well. A double Doom, in fact. Primal Roar on top of that. Reaper sight. Everyone for Berna. And Berna's already dead. Frank needs to be the damage dealer here, but with the Omni Slash, he's going to get the damage dealt to him. Frank is the second to die in this engagement. Much like this Roche fight, Parker once more. LTH at least yolls him, which manages to TP. Faker delays this push as much as he can, but it's a tough one right now.
They need to have buyback. I think the way to approach the fights is to have buybacks, so whoever gets Doom, Reaper sighted, roared, whatever, needs to have buyback, and then they need to take a fight again. Because like they couldn't find Grimstroke. Grimstroke gets the Soulbind off, and it gives them enough time to either use like double Doom was a little bit off mark. You needed to wait like another second, but still having the second Reaper sight and also having Armlet as well on Like, I don't think CK dealt damage in the last, like, 10 minutes. I feel like his damage in the last 10 minutes is extremely low.
Yeah, he's been getting caught first in every single fight for SG as well. I mean, that's also Infamous doing a really good job. As they take a tower for free now. Top lane, we do see a little bit of a chase after Affliction, but this is at the cost of a tower. If anything, Affliction is quote-unquote creating space.
They
because
lost
the racks get
barracks.
taken. Yep.
I also wanted to see something like a Lotus Orb is probably the best item you can
Tip.
buy in this game against
For SG, you
Beastmaster,
mean?
against Doom, Juggernaut. So this Yule Scepter on Mirana is like it's okay for setting things up for your arrow, saving yourself against some of these things. But I feel like it should have been Lotus.
X on Parker. There's the Hex set up for the Torrent. Okay, but they can still save him with the Ethereal. In fact, Michael also wants to initiate. Parker has the Omni. No, he does not have the Omni. So he just has to run away. The Torrent Storm is a bit too much of a nuisance. In fact, the Necrophos could be in trouble. He's left behind. His teammates know Alone's gonna die. Alone, like his name indicates. But at least Infamous can retreat.
Does have buyback, so that's gonna help out. He also just swapped in Blast Rig. Blast Rig really good against CK and the Illusions, having that few seconds of 100% miss chance. Gonna help out quite a lot once they decide to like get on top of him. I don't know if he needs to use buyback. Let's see if like they try to surprise him. If they go in, find an opening, he's gonna go for it.
That's what they go for. They go for the CM. There's no buyback committed just yet. In fact, they just lost Grimstroke, and they used the Doom. Parker has to avoid this with a perfect Manta-style dodge. Can he do it? He did not. He did not. Now Parker could be in trouble. Verna has to pummel him down. That's enough damage to bring down Parker. Okay, Lacoste. His game's a roller coaster.
It's a wild game, Alvo. Like they,
It's wild, yeah.
There's so many like plays that like don't need to happen. Like they don't need to be outside of the base. Roar.
Yep, Doom's dead too. Thornstorm got committed just to secure the Doom kill, and now we get a free lane of Rax apparently. Hawk is not really gonna help us.
They can go for mid as well. Like this is 2 set of barracks. There's still tier 2 tower on the bottom, so they can go for megas. 57 seconds. There is buyback on Doom, but no buyback on Juggernaut. He needs 270 gold. That's not gonna kick in. I hear a BKB.
Yeah, the BKB was triggered to avoid the Ghost Ship, so Oscar doesn't have any longer. They can't go for the last set of Rex at the very least, so that's the saving grace Infamous has, and they can play around that, hopefully. Verna was baiting out Frank. That's a way to play with a crazy teammate, try to bait him out instead. But Frank this time does not want to die, he's going to retreat. And SG, they bring it back to the game, I suppose. They go back to the game they threw one at once.
Everyone throws once or twice, and still SG had a lot of lead to throw away. Roshan is gonna respawn right now. That's third Rosh. Someone should keep an eye on that. It's a refresher, so double BKB, like double Torrent Storm. I think Kanka takes it. He's also buying a refresher for himself, so potentially like 3 of those. That's gonna be very annoying to deal with. Like someone should be inside the pit. Like you can feel some of the nerves probably kicking in, because Infamous, they see this, and SG is playing bottom part of the map.
Yeah, not really considering Roche at all. And this time now you can sneak a Roche. Not only are you Radiant, but you do have enough damage this time to just bring it down quickly. This comes the Refresher, which means another Doom or Primal Roar, or... Who's the best Refresher user?
Yeah, they definitely give it to Doom. They just want to have another layer of locking people down. Let's see who picks it up. For now, it's going to be Beastmaster, but they're pinging it out.
Yeah, he's keeping it in his backpack, so I don't think he wants it.
Let's see if he sells Bracer. He does. Okay, he wants it.
Okay. Double Primal Roar, or now quadruple, potentially.
Yeah, that thing never happens. It's just in theory. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna lock onto a target, kill one, then it connects onto someone else, then we're gonna kill, and then the one that was not a roar. Okay, it's just like a little too much, but it's a possibility. Yeah.
Now that you said it, it's definitely gonna happen, Lacoste. That's kind of how it works. You gotta not believe for something to happen in Dota.
I didn't believe that they can throw away the lead, and they did. They prolonged this game for a very long time. Night Stalker does have Nullifier, so that's gonna be very good item against the Yule Scepter, against also Ghost Scepter, Ghost Shroud, sorry.
Also dispels the Inkswell, right?
Yeah, I was about to say it. Stormcrafter
with the shard
as well, because they just picked it up.
So if it dispels the Inkswell, do you with the shard? Do you still get the spell of the Inkswell? You know?
My first thought was no, because it's dispelled, but Inkswell works kind of weird. So I think it still explodes. I think on Grimstroke it should still go off, but like you don't get the values from it. We have two things to test when the game is done, Avo. You gotta remind me which was the first one. Oh, the Hawk.
The first one is the Hawks. Yeah, the Hawks. A lot of interesting interactions though. It's like with a Photic Shield, right? When you dispel it, actually blows up with the damage. I always thought that was interesting. Whatever it's recovered unto then. Inkswell's the same.
Dota changes a lot of the time. Sometimes, you know, we have these things that are not supposed to work as intended. We fix them immediately thanks to Jeff. Doom on the mid.
Oh, yeah. Frank is now stuck, and Frank. I think I've seen this one before. Lacoste, I feel a bit of deja vu.
Frank just likes to go alone.
Should change his name, really, to Alone. Alone's been a real team player this game, actually.
And doesn't have buyback. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. It's just back and forth constantly. Parker with the double damage, still have like 20 seconds left on it with the Aegis on top of that. Cliff already popped. They do have Bloodthorn on CK.
They do. But Faker, he's a bit too tanky. Even with double damage, Parker can't bring him down with a simple Blade Fury. Faker wants to activate the BKB, and Parker goes, sure, I'll kill you. I'll kill Wish too. Wish is already dead, but from behind, in comes Berna to finish off Oscar. So CM for Oscar, definitely not worth it. We have a second Hex here, thanks to the refresher, but Alone might be the one to suffer it, but Faker is dying to the illusions. He has to run away. Faker dies to the Juggernaut illusions there. And a little bit of the Alone Zora, of course. Alone, who makes Berna ethereal, as he lets Parker go for the Mirana. LTH in trouble. LTH leaps away just in time. Oscar wants him.
Oh, the dodge from Stormcrafter.
As Oscar does get brought down for this, Berna was looking to bait him out. Silence though is now Berna, who might die for Oscar's head, and that's not what they were looking for. Berna killed off as he's surrounded by enemies. Frank is finally back. No Dark Ascension. Buyback here from Berna.
25 seconds until Dark Ascension is online. They need that. Like, Frank might need to be able to, like, jump in and try to slow them down. What a huge comeback from Infamous. There's still 50 seconds left on Juggernaut's Aegis, so this is potentially mega creeps. 5 seconds of Dark Ascension. Frank is waiting.
Berna was baiting at LTH once again. There's Frank, this time playing with the team. BKB activated already, but they only want Berna. Parker wants to punish him with Reaper Scythe. It'll be possible. Berna is down. Frank alone cannot fight. He's realized that this game, with a freezing field here from Wage, hoping to finish off Alone, it's gonna work out. Frank still attacking these towers, and Parker attacking these towers. Frank thinks he can take him down, going for the supports instead. As they actually frostbite.
Everyone's vying back.
They need more damage though. Michael will be the target instead. Parker going for the Mirana. LTH out of leaves. Alone's back here. Wants to punish Widge. Revenge is a dish best served cold, he says to Widge. Widge is a Crystal Maiden. She excels in a frostbitten environment. She gets away for now. Parker with the refresher. He's back to full force. It's like an Omni Slash this time. And it might just be for Faker, but Faker gets turned invisible before it can be used.
He's going in, got Hex, pre-Hex.
He got surprised by the Hex. There's no refresher though. Ghost Ship will hit, but he has the BKB in time. Parker gets the Omni Slash off. It's only for Widge though. And the Argentinian suffers the slicing and dicing of Parker, who now gets away with a Blade Fury. Kills LTH on the way out.
He's alone.
Parker will now he'll go for the racks. Faker, he's been turned ethereal. XD says Faker, he's done with the game. GG is called. SG will lose this. Infamous Well, I guess come back this game.
Whew. Man, what a wild comeback! Like they gave everything to Juggernaut as well. Frank jumps in one more time. Like it was about to turn night. He was very impatient. Like maybe the longer duration silence could made a little bit of difference there. But yeah, his initiation, like I don't know if you can even call that initiation if you jump into 5 heroes alone. There's no one around you. I don't know what you call that. But yeah, like Juggernaut, I like the way he built into this game and the way they played around him. Because like we had a couple of sacrificial people like Oscar and Michael. They were not getting a lot, but they did enable Parker. Like if you look at the score, like Affliction has 13 deaths. I don't know. SG definitely needs to work on like communication, what needs to be done, because this was, I'm not gonna say unthrowable, but this was it definitely like 90, 96, 97% win guaranteed for them.
Yeah, that graph is not a graph you'd like to see. And also, Lacoste, how does that affect your mentality in coming into the series? Like, it's the first game, you just threw it like this. Do you feel that this is hard to... this will affect them in game 2 as well?
Oh, for sure. Like they need to be able to reset. Maybe not look at what happened in the game, because they're gonna feel even worse about it. So just try to think how to do stuff correctly. This is a big throw. Definitely. I don't think I can even point out anything other than Night Stalker. Might be a bit too harsh on him, but sometimes you got to do reality checks, see why you lost, so you can fix it. But don't look at the graph.
Yeah, don't look at the graph. Don't look at the plays. Just concentrate on the next game, apparently. As we go over to our panel, and let's see what they can tell us about this game 1 between Infamous and SG. Thank you, Ava. Well, guys, you guys both predicted Infamous, and this was a very different kind of curse. You somehow managed to absolutely curse SG. Congratulations. You guys are the Oracle panel in a very different way. What the fuck happened? Bowie, you can start.
I really feel like the problems that we pointed out during the draft happen, right? It doesn't matter that SG is 19k gold ahead if their draft is trash at actually taking towers, whilst the Infamous draft is really good at defending them. So I feel like what Frank was doing was like trying to bait spells. Like they knew if they fought 5 versus 5, the team fight was like really hard for them to take. So he just definitely forced too much when he went for those weird Dark Ascensions. I feel like most of the early ones were not great. And they ended up getting baited. Like they used Dark Ascension instead of resetting. They still fought because they knew they were ahead, but then they didn't have that spell. And it's tough because Beastmaster later on they even like got to Rex, but they didn't contest Roche because they knew they were fighting against Hawk. They knew how hard it is actually to fight against Beastmaster and that all of that vision. So I don't know, man. I really feel like Beastmaster is one of the best heroes right now. Parker's gonna like play like crazy regardless of the hero he has. So maybe just take the hero out.
Yeah, I would agree with your point on the Beastmaster. Winter, what are your thoughts on this game?
I think I kind of agree that the Night Stalker and the CK, I feel like the communication was definitely not there. I didn't like the Shadow Blade so much. I feel like if Frank wants to do the random jump in to kill the support, if the CK has a blink and he can follow up and kill, because I think they are not actually identifying why they're losing the team fights. I feel like when the soul buy goes off, they get double doom and double roll, they're losing the team fights. So they have to just jump and kill the Grimstroke. If the Grimstroke is dead, the team fight is actually so easy. They are going on the wrong targets, I feel like, and the Shadow Blade definitely does not help with killing the Grimstroke in the team fights. If he has a blink, they jump on him, they kill him right away. The fights become so much more easier, and like Bowie mentioned, the first couple of Dark Ascensions, I don't know, man. He was sitting in his bot. Yeah, sure, his team is making a lot of space for him to farm. He was sitting in the bot lane, hitting creeps, being so happy. But I felt like he just needed to go, even though he was having a good game, he just needed to go and use the Dark Ascension, defend the mid tower, and take a couple of fights. He was just way too greedy for my taste in how he played the early game.
I will say as well that usually when the analyst goes and says that their strategy was randomly attacking, that's usually is not a good sign of communication, like Bowie pointed out. But we'll have to see if this game number 2 has more order to the chaos that was SG-Esports. And if you guys are right and they can help identify the issues in their team fights, as we take a small break and go over to game 2 between SG and Infamous.